From the point of view of farmers that you interact with, you had a 40-strong delegation from, for example, from the Agri All Africa at Nampo. What is their feeling about this resettlement of Afrikaners in the United States? Are we going to see farmers going in their numbers?
I don't think so. Not, not yet, at least. We don't know who these Afrikaners are who left. We were not part of organizing them. We don't know what criteria they had to meet. We do have a list inside in our organization of people who inquired about the opportunity, of about 1,000, but only 2 of them are real farmers. There are 3 categories on that list. There are quite a number of youngsters. Those are people who work in the United States every year. They drive big machines. They do harvesting on farms. But it's for a few months every year. And this year there will be 16,200 of them who will be going. And those who want to take up the offer of the USA government, they feel that they have better opportunities there than here. They would not have gone there if they had similar opportunities here. They feel they understand the system there.
Yeah.
Then the second largest group is actually middle-aged people who worked elsewhere in the value chain, a silo manager or a floor manager at a cooperative or a farm manager. The level where BEE is quite acute at the moment. And they say they cannot find a job again. Some of them have struggled for 4 or 5 years to find a new job, and they don't have a livelihood. They cannot take care of their families, and they believe they will be better off on that side. And then there's also a small group of trauma-stricken people who are on that list, people who fell victim to farm attacks or farm murders. And none of them have heard anything back from either the embassy or the Department of Foreign Affairs in the USA, and none of them know exactly what will be awaiting them. You know, what's on offer. Will they stay in tents? Will they get a green card? Whatever it is.
So what you're saying, Dr. Yaga, is that from your list, at least of 1,000 or so that you have looked at, those 49 are not represented in that particular list. However, be it, they did get this particular status. And the issue really at hand is, what is the feeling of your grouping as Agri SA Initiative on this disinformation at 2 levels? One, that there is white genocide or Afrikaner genocide in South Africa, but 2, that there is carte blanche grabbing of land by the government of South Africa.
We do not know where the disinformation comes from. Hey, we hear that disinformation has been spread, but we don't know from where it came, and no one could tell us. Even when we confronted some of the politicians who said that there's disinformation that's been spread, we asked, who? What exactly is the disinformation and who is spreading it? We maintain, and all our farmers' organizations in South Africa maintain, that there is no genocide, but there's a massive problem with safety on farms and with farm murders, and we expect government to do more about it. We are pushing government to act on it. We feel government does not do enough. And we hold them accountable for it. We say we understand that some farmers would eventually say, we've had enough of this. Because they have exhausted their internal remedies. I mean, we've taken the song, Kill the Farmer, Kill the Boer, to court, and then to the Court of Appeal. And then the judges at the Constitutional Court decided for some reason to close the doors of the court on us. They never heard our case at the Constitutional Court. So where should we go with it next? Next we must go abroad. Next we must go to the United Nations or to the International Court of Justice. Because we have tried internally and the doors have been shut to us. when it comes to land grabs, there is no widespread grabbing of farmland at the moment in South Africa. But it can happen. I mean, if I would be expropriated at nil compensation, I would have no income, no money to fight this expropriation. I think if that would happen to farmers, they would also grab an opportunity to go to the USA.
Yeah.
And this new act actually paves the way to that. There is no guarantee that it will not happen because this new act can let it happen legally.
Yeah. Interesting that you say that. An organization that you used to be a head of, Agri SA, holds a different view. The Expropriation Act of 23rd January 2025 has sparked a lot of political debate, but the disinformation is that there is a seizure and confiscation of private property that has taken place. They're saying there has not been any such, nor has any land been expropriated without compensation. Isolated cases of land grabs and trespassing have been dealt with. Additionally, rumors linking farm murders to the signing of the act are baseless and irresponsible. That's Agri SA.
Yeah, Agri SA, remember we originated from an expropriation at less than market-related compensation, the expropriation from Ackerland. When I was in Agri SA still in Limpopo, we took that matter to court and we won the court case against government. The court order was that the property should immediately be returned to the original farmer. And also there Agri SA decided not to join us in that court case. Hence, we launched an organization, SAI, because we feel the farmer should not wonder whether somebody will assist them should their number come up for an expropriation at less than market-related compensation. And remember, it does not need to be nil compensation or without compensation to be devastating, because very few farmers farm on a cash basis. We all put our property up as collateral for loans, for production.
Yeah.
So should government, on average, compensate the farmer only 60%, it would mean that the bank and the cooperative would get their money, but the farmer will walk out naked. And what should happen to that farmer then?
Yeah.
Where should they go?
There's a sense that none of that will happen because there is no new expropriation powers that have been introduced. The Act does not introduce such powers. In fact, the legal framework for land reform, including the Land Reform Labour Tenure Act, is in place. The Extension of Security of Tenure Act is in place. The Restitution of Land Rights Act is in place, and the Provisional of Land and Assistance Act remains unchanged. So none of that is actually an issue here.
No, it is. We are currently in court with a number of expropriations. One of the cases we have in court right now is that of plaaswerfbeleggings, where a property was expropriated in revenge by the Provincial Department of Health in Gauteng. This property is at Heidelberg, and it was on the property there's a mortuary which was leased out to the department. And when government stopped paying their lease, the owner acted against them, got a court order to throw them out, and the next thing he was expropriated and never paid.
Right.
And it's already 5 years ago, but the case is still pending in court.
Okay.
And you know, this owner must fight with their own money against government, which is fighting back with taxpayers' money.
Right.
So, no, it's not true that it is not happening at all or that it cannot happen. It is actually happening, and we are fighting it in court right as we speak.